Okay, anyways, hi guys. I was just sitting here out in the summer, in the shade, of course, on this hot summer day, and I'm just thinking about the summer convention and how happy I am that I don't have to go to them anymore. I think it would be easier to fall asleep at home too, watching it online. Definitely not the same experience. And that just makes me think of too all the recycled talks that they do, and it's really just an opportunity for them, the leaders, to just put all the fear and obligation and pressure on their members. And of course, I think they love the in-person ones because it's one of the best ways for them to collect money in donations. I think most conventions that I did go to as a witness in person, I don't think I donated. It's the same at the Kingdom Hall for me. If I did donate, it was only like $5 or $10. It was, yeah. I'll place a very good bet on myself that I don't remember for 100% certain, but I am highly certain that I never put a 50 or a 100 ever into a donation box. But anyways, all the convention talks, like all the dribble and God, really out of their mouths a lot of times, all I'm really hearing is, blah, blah, blah. Do this, do that, you're not doing enough, you're never good enough. And it just makes me think that, conventions like this and assemblies and really all the talk at their meetings is really just designed to, well, they want to keep their members caged up like you would an animal. Caged up and essentially just unhappy, not free to live the life that they really deserve. Because unfortunately for some pets it might be true. They might be in a small cage and the owners don't let them out. At least not as often as they should. So it's a very restrictive environment. I'm not totally against it though, because I've had caged pets in the past, but I would make sure to let them out and get some exercise outside the cage, to feed them a lot. But see, the governing body, they don't truly care about their members. They just want their time, their money, and all their time and money and free labor. Because they like to set so many rules and restrictions, but also punishments if these rules are not meant or broken, and it's all to keep everybody under control. So a cage has 4 walls, and I separated it myself into 4 categories that I could think of. The first one being education. They discourage higher education, because they don't want their members to develop critical thinking skills or get into a good job and, become inactive in the watchtower. It's all about them, giving your all to serve Jehovah and serve them. And plus, they discourage higher education because, why would you want to study so many years and put so much time into a system that's Satan's system? It's going to go down anyway, so why do you want to waste your time doing that? You need to slave for us instead. I think some of the JW kids are homeschooled as a way for parents to control what kind of education and information their kids are fed, and it's also a way, I believe, very much to limit their association. They don't want them to be influenced by worldly people. That's just, and you can look it up yourselves, guys. It's a fact that Jehovah's Witnesses are one of the where the people of the religion are one of the poorest religions because many don't have higher education. A lot work simple jobs like cleaners, like lower paying jobs, because Watchtower pretty well demands that they just slave in free labor, like preaching or building their buildings, or the second category I could think of is Bible teachings. We all know they've made their own Bible translation, which, yes, I don't think I can't say enough that that's a big sign, red flag of a cult. If they have to make their own Bible in order for it to change and fit their own doctrine and beliefs. And definitely, they cherry pick, delete verses, take verses out of context, and they twist it all to fit their own agenda. They have some scholars and scientists have spoken out against the witnesses because they would quote them. Watchtower would quote them in their articles, like the Watchtower or Awake, but delete parts of what the scientists said in order to make it fit their beliefs, like Watchtower's beliefs. And Watchtower is guilty, which makes what they teach wrong and false. Like, how dumb can they be? Some of the biggest examples are Armageddon, Trinity, Hell, the 144,000, and blood that they have twisted to fit their own doctrine. So the third area that I thought of is association. The Jehovah's Witnesses is one of the most highly restrictive in terms of association. You're only allowed to associate with other Jehovah's Witnesses. You're taught to view anybody outside the religion as in Satan's system and just not a good influence. You want to really limit your contact with such people. Like, all the witnesses need to limit their association with mostly anyone outside the Kingdom Hall. Keep it mostly within congregations. So the leaders are essentially doing, as I would put it, the same thing like how Jonestown did it. They lived in their own isolated little village. With the only exception being that Watchtower doesn't literally and physically isolate their people like that, but they basically do the same thing. So a lot of witnesses are very isolated, very lonely. They don't get out much. Again, I know a lot of families that will homeschool their children because they feel they're protecting them from bad association. And I think that, over-sheltering, I would call it. Overprotective. Well, in terms of, like, once these kids grow up and get older, it's ultimately their choice of and how they're going to handle it on their own. You can't have them never go out dealing with people in Satan's system, as they call it. And one of the most extreme things that Watchtower does is commanding their members to shun anybody that leaves the religion, even if they're family members. A lot of the natural disasters, Jehovah's Witnesses are not interested in helping everybody. They're mainly interested in helping other Jehovah's Witnesses. Look, shunning is not love. The Jehovah's Witnesses definitely do not know what real love is. They love to profess that they're a loving organization. Unfailing love, as one convention put it. But no, the leaders are more interested in their members, in their free labor, their time, and what money they can give. They're not interested in showing them real love. They don't really care about them as people. So, the fourth area that I thought of is the mind. The leaders like to make themselves the top authority. You know, they are like tyrannical, like not to be questioned, and they keep their members busy with all Watchtower activities: personal study, meetings, conventions, assemblies, preaching, building, JW broadcasting, the daily text. You know, they tell their members to only stick to their website and publications. This is a way to limit and really filter the information that the members will get, and definitely a way for the members to tell their members like what's true and what's not true, and withhold information that they don't want their members to know, of course. So they discourage pretty much all entertainment and information in the world, everything from TV shows to movies to books to music. Like, if a Jehovah's Witness was to truly follow the rules of like everything that they're not allowed to watch or read or view, like it's pretty much everything. They would have very little TV and movies to watch. Older JWs I knew, not so much the younger generation now, but the older ones I knew, a lot of them didn't even have a TV, or they had their cable or satellite or whatever they had it, they only had a few channels. But the main point here is that just Watchtower, it's all about control. They want to keep control over their members' minds, keep them restricted, to keep their members loyal, and to make sure they don't question anything, because in Watchtower land, asking questions they don't like is bad. You know, you're all familiar with things that they have said in the past. Don't research outside our website, don't Google Jehovah's Witnesses. Their goal is to keep their members asleep. Filter what they get, block out anything that they don't like, and they're essentially molding the members' brains to what they want it to be, and they're making them like they're not really people anymore, are they? Like, they're just like robots and slaves for Watchtower. So that's how they want it. But thankfully, more and more people are waking up. I'm loving it. We're all loving it. As more people are doing research, because there's a lot of information to be found about Jehovah's Witnesses, and guys, what the governing body would say, it's not true. They're lying. The information is accurate and true. They just don't want you to know that, find that information, because it reflects badly on them. So more and more people are waking up and using their critical thinking to, you know, something's not right in this organization, or why did they do this? How come they don't do that? And more people like me, ex-members who have left and getting the real truth out there, speaking out about the Watchtower, about what they're really all about, what really goes on behind closed doors. I'm here to speak out and tell you what they don't want you to know. And a lot of us ex-members have done videos, books, documentaries. There's lots you could check out online, me being one of them. And the governments are starting to look into the Jehovah's Witnesses too, with regard to the child abuse and pedophile issues and their shunning policies. And some of these countries as examples are Russia, Australia, Norway, Sweden, Belgium, Canada, and I'm happy to see the good list growing. And it's not that they hate a religion like the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's they're starting to be exposed for what they really are. And all this is great stuff that needs to happen. Because the Jehovah's Witnesses are nothing but a cult. Everything they say is false. They're giving you false hope, lies, and they just want nothing but control over you and everything that they do, their members. And so, so anyways, let me say, Google Jehovah's Witnesses, do your research, and I'll say just know that you're not leaving the truth, as they call it. It's anything but that. You are leaving a cult for those who decide to leave, and I assure you, you're going to be a lot happier, a lot better days outside of a cult like that. So, all I wanted to say for this video, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.